I just need you to delay. And if I can keep you comfortable, distracted, uncertain, then your potential will never become your reality. This has always been my plan.
This idea isn't new. Back in 1938, Napoleon Hill wrote something that wasn't even published for decades. It was called Outwitting the Devil. And in it, he describes this exact concept. A force that doesn't control people through fear, but through drifting, through comfort, through distraction, through delay. And when I read that, I realize something. That voice he describes is still here. It just evolved. There's a conversation happening in your head every day. One voice pushes you forward, the other keeps you comfortable. Most people never question which one they're listening to. This is the inner war. Most people think they're in control of their life. But if you're really paying attention, most people are just reacting to notifications, reacting to emotions, reacting to whatever feels easiest in the moment. And they call that living. I don't think that's living. I think that's drifting. And the problem with drifting is you don't even realize you're doing it. Now I want to frame this differently, because this isn't just about habits or discipline. This is about a conversation that is happening in your head every single day.
You're tired. You've done enough today. Just relax. You can start tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Or just not today?
What's the rush? You got time.
That's what I've been telling myself for years. That voice, that's what I'm calling the devil. Not in a religious sense, but as a force that keeps you comfortable, distracted, and average. The scary part is, most people don't even question that voice. They're just listening. You ever say you're going to wake up early and then the alarm hits and then something in your head goes,
You need to rest. You'll perform better later.
or say you're going to go to the gym and then suddenly
You had a long day. You deserve a break.
or you want to start something, a business, a brand, something real.
You're not ready yet. You need more time, more research, more planning.
And it sounds logical. That's what makes it dangerous. Because over time, that voice doesn't just guide your decision, it shapes your life. You look up one day and you realize you didn't build what you said you would. You didn't become who you say you would. You stayed in the same pattern. Not because you weren't capable, but because you kept choosing comfort. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You're not stuck. You're listening to the wrong voice.
Why are you trying so hard? Most people don't do all that.
Exactly. That's why most people don't get what they want.
You're doing too much.
Or maybe I've just been doing too little for too long. Now let's make this real for a second. This isn't some abstract idea. This is what it actually looks like, at least for me. I wake up, I check my phone, scroll for 10 to 15 minutes, and tell myself this is just to get updated. I go through my day, I handle what I have to do, but avoid what actually matters. The thing I said I was going to build, it gets pushed back again. I tell myself I just need more time. I'll start when things calm down. I'm not ready yet. And nothing about that feels like failure. That's what makes it dangerous. Because drifting doesn't feel like losing. It feels like living. And I'm not speaking on this from the outside. Something I do just about every day. I tell myself I'm going to start tomorrow. I just need to get things together first. I'll lock it in when the time is right. And what I realize is that this time doesn't create discipline. Decisions do. There wasn't some moment where everything lined up. This was just a moment where I stopped negotiating with myself. And that's when I began to see a shift. I realized failure is not doing something and not succeeding. Failure is when you have a plan, when you have an idea, and you just delay. Because delay gives space for just not doing. So here's what I want you to do after this episode. Tomorrow morning, when the voice tells you to stay in bed, get up anyway. When it tells you you'll do it later, do it. When it says you don't feel like it, do it anyway. Not because it's easy, but because that's how you take control back. This is the conversation most people avoid. Because once you hear it clearly, you can't ignore it anymore. Every decision becomes a choice between comfort or control, and the life you want is on the other side of that choice. You're not drifting because you have to. You're drifting because you've been allowing it. That ends when you decide it does. And this is just the beginning. The conversation doesn't stop when this ends. It shows up in your decisions, your habits, your discipline. And the life you want is on the other side of the choices you keep avoiding.
You're starting to hear me now. That's unfortunate. Because once you recognize the pattern, it becomes harder for me to hide. But don't worry. I've been doing this for a long time. You'll feel motivated for a moment, maybe even inspired. And then, I'll be there in the morning. Just 5 more minutes. Start tomorrow. You deserve a break. And most people, listen. I don't need everyone. I just need most. Let's see which one you are.
This is The Inner War. I'll see you in the next one.